Senate postpones interaction with service chiefs over insecurity as gunmen kill soldiers. Vigilantes in Nasarawa. Nigerians continue to lament economic hardship. Lagos court orders federal government to fix price of goods within 7 days. Nigeria defeats South Africa to reach AFCON 2023 finals. And finally, on the foreign scenes, Netanyahu rejects Hamas truce demands, orders troops to prepare to operate in Rafah. Many thanks for joining us on the News Hour tonight. I'm Sagir Ibrahim. Now the news. The Senate on Wednesday expressed worry over the country's rising insecurity, declaring that the nation's seat of power is under threat. Senate President Godswill Akpabio spoke before the Senate adjourned its briefing with heads of security agencies to next week over the absence of the National Security Advisor, NSA, Nuhu Ribadu, and Chief of Defense Staff, Christopher Musa. The Red Chamber had last week summoned the security chiefs to brief it on the spate of insecurity in Nigeria and efforts to address the menace. The invitation came as the country witnessed a spike in killings and kidnappings in many parts of the country, including the FCT. However, the security meeting, earlier scheduled to hold on Wednesday, was postponed to February 13th after the Senate had admitted those present into the chamber. Those in attendance were Taurid Lagbaja, Chief of Army Staff, Emmanuel Ogala, Chief of Naval Staff, and Hassan Abubakar, Chief of Air Staff, Kayode Egbetokun, Inspector General of Police, and Yusuf Bichi, Director General of the Department of State Services. Akpabio said the interactive session with heads of security agencies was shifted because some of those invited did not show up. He said the Chief of Defense Staff, Director General of National Intelligence Agency, NIA, Ahmed Rufai, and Defense and Police Affairs Ministers needed to be present to have a holistic review of the situation. Akpabio thereafter directed the clerk of the Senate to inform those invited to be present next week.
In addition to the service chiefs who have honored the invitation of the Senate, it's important to know that we represent the Nigerian people and we can only do the will of the Nigerian people. And our job is to complement the efforts of the executive and then also to assist the executive to succeed. Because if the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu does not succeed, it means that we have all failed. It means that Nigeria has failed. So the Senate will agree with me in view of the fact that the people we have mentioned are not here, the personnel we have mentioned are not here, and we need their presence to have a holistic and complete discussion on the security situation in the country. So is it the view of the Senate that this be moved to Tuesday, the 13th day of February 2023? Those in support say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Tension in Nasarawa State as a suspected militia group laid ambush and killed 3 Nigerian army personnel and 2 vigilantes in Umesha district of Toto local government area of Nasarawa State. Some unidentified gunmen also launched an attack recently on Okudu village and killed scores of persons. Reports said that the army were deployed to Katakpa and Okudu villages to maintain law and order following the persistent communal crisis in the area. Bandits on Wednesday blocked the Sheme Kankara Road around Hawan Tulaki in Faskari local government area of Katsina State, killing 2 passengers and abducting an unspecified number of people. Similarly, another terrorist gang was said to have mounted another roadblock around Gidan Alhaji Sule on the same Sheme Kankara Road at the early hours of Wednesday, dispossessing passengers of money and other valuables. Most of the communities along Kankara Sheme Road have been deserted, exposing passengers to bandit attack. Some residents told Trust TV News reporter in Katsina, Abdullahi Yamadi, that the bandits operated for over 2 hours freely without response from security operatives, despite several distress calls. Operatives of the Nigeria Police Force attached with the Department of Force Intelligence tactical teams have gunned down a notorious kidnapper terrorizing the outskirts of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. The notorious bandit, Issa Day, was neutralized during a gun battle with security personnel who had combed the hideout of some kidnapping syndicates, making lives unbearable for residents of the suburbs. The spokesman of the Nigerian police, Olumuyiwa Adejobi, who revealed this on Wednesday morning, disclosed that some members of the syndicate fled when they cited police operatives. Adejobi called on the public, particularly medical practitioners, to call the attention of police operatives when treating patients with gunshot wounds for further investigation. Internally displaced persons who fled their homes during the recent crisis in Mangu and its surroundings are facing severe shortages of food and other essentials supplies in the area. The IDPs expressed their concerns on Tuesday at the Mangu Central Mosque, their current campsite following the ethno-religious crisis that claimed many lives in the region. Trust TV's Adu Musa reports.
According to the IDPs, they have become homeless in their present camp and lack food items and other essential services in the area. They added that they are in dire need of assistance at this trying period.
We have lost a lot during the crisis. We are in dire need of help from all and sundry. We don't have a place to go because our houses were burned. Our children need a place to live in. We are begging for assistance. Life has not been easy for us. We thank God for sustaining our lives to this moment. Despite the current challenges, we have not received anything from either the federal or state governments.
Even nobody, we do not see anything from government, anything. There's no any help from government. That's how we are struggling, so that we get what we will eat. We are living hand to mouth now. Seriously, we do not find it easy because we are suffering now. We will go to some people's houses. There is some, if they cook food, they will give us some so that we should eat with our children. But there is no any help from government. So we just walk around from house to houses so that we should get what we will eat.
Our situation, because we need more, even though we haven't received anything from the government. So our people are living homeless. Some of them are without food, and our situation is bad actually.
While presenting some relief materials to the IDPs, the JNI Aid Group, led by its Director of Volunteers, Njuma Khalid, admitted that what they provided for the victims was not much and called for the public-spirited individuals to assist them.
Akwai display pass da ake soje sama da 1000 aka ce. Wasa ci wannan gari, wasu na gindiri, wasu na wurare daban-daban. To mu dan abin da muka kawo.
Some individuals have indeed contributed to helping the victims, but what we have brought so far will not be sufficient because there are many. We are calling on well-meaning Nigerians to do more to help get them out of the woes. While appreciating other groups and individuals for assisting them, the victims call on the government to come to their aid. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
And as the rise in the cost of living continues biting hard on Nigerians, residents of Kaduna State are expressing worry over the persistent increase in the price of foodstuff at various markets. While traders at the popular cow market say they are now experiencing low patronage due to the persistent increase in the price of foodstuff. Trust TV's Bello Musa completes the report.
It is a beehive of activities as buyers and sellers exchange money for grains and other foodstuff at the cow market in Kaduna. However, buyers at the market are lamenting the persistent surge in the price of maize, rice, millet, and other grains at the market. A bag of local rice is now sells for 110 to 120,000 naira, while a bag of maize now goes for 57,000 naira, and the price is still rising.
In our rice, local rice, the one mudu 1,700. This rice I carry
na 30 mudu. I pay 20,250 naira for only this rice. I wan buy corn today, red corn, the bag of corn 60,000. I no know how I go take do. I have children for house. People that look for money to buy and eat, no way.
Meanwhile, traders on their part have also been lamenting the surge in price at the village market where they get supplies from. Prices are always unpredictable. Today, the price is low and tomorrow it will be high. We have gone to different places within and outside Nigeria to buy rice, but the price keeps increasing. The increase is not even in hundreds, but in thousands. Although harvest time is expected to take place in 8 months from now, residents and traders are, however, entertaining fears over the possibility of scarcity of grains. The next harvest season will start around September, and a bag of local rice is now 120,000 naira. We don't know what will happen in the next couple of months. Insecurity has contributed to the cost of foodstuffs in Nigeria because farming has greatly been affected.
Government will help us. Government will help us. All these things too much for us. People are buy and cry. If we sell rice, don't let you must buy corn. If we sell corn, you must buy oil for family to eat. Up and down. They go up and down. We don't know the solution. Government will help us.
At the time of compiling this report, a bag of local rice which was sold at 110 to 120,000 naira is now sold for 130 to 140, while a bag of maize is now sold at the rate of 60,000 naira. Bello Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
Well, there you have it, Nigerians on the price of commodities in the market. Also, the Federal High Court sitting in Ikoyi, Lagos on Wednesday ordered the federal government to fix the prices of goods and petroleum products within 7 days. Justice Ambose Lewis Alagwa granted the order sequel to an originating motion filed and argued by the applicant and human rights activist Femi Falana, SAN. The judge ordered the Nigerian government to fix the price of milk, flour, salt, sugar, bicycles and its spare parts, matches, motorcycles and its spare parts, motor vehicles and its spare parts, as well as petroleum products, which include diesel, premium motor spirit and kerosene. Falana had approached the court to, among other things, determine whether by virtue of Section 4 of the Price Control Act, the federal government is carrying out its duty to impose a price on goods that are of the kind specified in the first schedule to the Price Control Act. The applicant also sought a declaration that the failure or refusal of the defendants to fix the prices of the goods specified in the first schedule to the Price Control Act is illegal, as it offends the provision of Section 4 of the Act. Justice Lewis Alagwa therefore ordered the federal government to fix the prices of the aforementioned goods not later than 7 days after the delivery of the judgment of the court. To other news now, 3 individuals of interest have been identified as masterminds of the January 16 explosion, which rocked parts of Bodija area of Ibadan, leaving at least 5 residents dead, while properties worth millions of naira were destroyed. Special advisor to the Oyo State Governor on Security, Fatai Owoseni, made this revelation known shortly after the presentation of a comprehensive report to Governor Seyi Makinde promised to ensure swift prosecution of the suspect. The report.
It's more than 20 days since the explosion which rocked parts of the Bodija area of Ibadan, leaving in its wake loss of lives and property. 3 reports comprising the security, engineering and medical team were submitted to the Oyo State Governor to unravel the immediate cause of blast and the need to unmask the masterminds of the shocking explosion. Special advisor to the Governor on Security says 3 foreign nationals have been identified and would face prosecution.
So amongst the 3 persons of interest that the investigating team can prosecute now as those people that were in occupation of that house as of the time the incident happened. And based on the findings deducted from their interrogation and the investigation that was carried out. It is still an ongoing process. Some persons of interest weren't there when the incident happened, and they were believed to have fled. The state, and of course, through the necessary mechanism.
The security team also revealed that the water gel tie-based explosive which caused the explosion was triggered by an electric spark. Meanwhile, the engineering and medical team says 335 affected residents registered at the Emergency Situation Center, while properties stretching as far as 500 perimeter radius from the epicenter were touched.
Some of them with insomnia, inability to sleep. Some of them are unduly irritable. Some of them are very agitated. We've seen marriages of 45 years where the husband is asking the wife, what exactly has gone wrong? And the wife is wondering, why has my husband, who has been so loving, suddenly become unapproachable? And some of them are broken down into tears spontaneously. Some have also become depressed. They've exhibited features of depression. All of these are clinical features of post-traumatic stress disorders.
I want you to know that we've visited 282 houses. And of all the 282 houses, only 4 are actually dangerous and cannot be easily repaired. The rest of the houses can be repaired and people can move back in to those houses.
It will be recalled that the Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde has recently signed into law an Executive Order 001 which seeks to checkmate the activities of illegal miners and handlers of harmful substances in a bid to forestall a recurrence of the January 16 explosion incident.
Meanwhile, residents of Itas Gadao local government area of Bauchi State have expressed satisfaction with road infrastructure development in the state. A cross-section of residents say the construction of the road will link communities across the state, facilitating socio-economic activities and improving the livelihood of the people. Trust TV's Adam Wiman reports.
Bauchi Northern Senatorial District is a semi-arid desert with arable land of agricultural activities but lack of major access road to evacuate their farm produce after harvest is a source of concern to many communities. Residents of the area shows their excitement at the ongoing 25-kilometer access rural road project. Our prayers have been answered. Our aspiration for this road have become a reality. This road presents an opportunity for us, especially for commuters, herders, and farmers, even strangers who travel on this road. Now we recognize each other, and we can make use of this road. This project has brought us back together with our neighbors and friends. It has also opened up other opportunities in farming and other small jobs here. Therefore, we thank God and we thank our governor for constructing this road. Other villagers and farmers around the benefiting communities further explained that previous government were unable to fulfill their electoral promises. During the rainy season, we used to trek on foot and suffered greatly while carrying our goods to Itas Gadao metropolis. God has already answered our prayers. Now motor vehicle can reach our farms and homes without difficulty. I pray that this man, Kauram Bauchi, will be the next Nigerian president by God's grace because of his generosity in serving the people here. Additionally, I named my little son after the governor because of what he did for the entire Itas Gadao communities. We appreciate it. During an inspection visit to the project site, Governor Bala Muhammad assured the people of the area that the road project will be completed in earnest to ease movement of cash crops to the markets all year round. Adami Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
Governor Babagana Zulum has ordered the scrapping of biometric data capture for civil servants in the state. Governor Zulum gave the directive on Tuesday in Damasak town while interacting with teachers from Zana Umarti Primary School and Government Secondary School. Zulum, who stated that he has issued a directive for the termination of the current biometric data capture process by the end of this month, also directed that other means of authenticating information from civil servants should be devised immediately. He insisted that once someone has a valid account number with their BVN linked and a national identification number, NIN, any anomaly can be identified. Governor Zulum said biometric exercises subject civil servants to undue stress, particularly teachers who have to leave their duty post in order to meet deadlines. And the House of Representatives on Wednesday okayed the Electoral Act Amendment Bill for second reading. The bill, titled A Bill for an Act to Amend the Electoral Act 2022 and for related matters, was sponsored by the member representing Uheli North, Uheli South, Udu Federal Constituency, Delta State, Francis Waibe. Presenting the bill, Waibe lamented the gaps in the Electoral Act 2022, noting that an amendment of the law to pave the way for the electronic transmission of results would help the nation's democracy. He added that a review of the voter register every 10 years would be a good starting point. You're watching the news hour on Trust TV. Coming up shortly. Mixed reaction trails developmental projects in Makurdi as business activities slow down. This and many other stories after the break. Stay with us. Thanks for staying with the news hour on Trust TV. A look at the headlines again. Nigeria Senate postpones interaction with service chiefs over insecurity as gunmen kill soldiers, vigilantes in Nasarawa. And Nigerians continue to lament economic hardship. Lagos court orders federal government to fix price of goods within 7 days. And to more stories now, the House of Representatives has condemned in its entirety the act of certificate racketeering by Nigerian students in collusion with some officials from ministries, departments and agencies in Nigeria. This was contained in a motion raised by Representative Abubakar Fulata on the need to investigate the allegations of certificate racketeering in the country. Here's the report.
In the last 2 months, the country has been plagued by a scandal involving one Umar Audu, a journalist who went undercover and obtained a certificate and transcript from the ESGT Cotonou, Benin Republic, and participated in the NYC scheme within a month. The lawmaker is concerned that the recent development has not only put a question mark on the quality of the certificates and capacity of graduates from these universities, but has also tarnished the image of the country's educational system. The motion recommended appropriate sanctions to serve as deterrents for others.
Also cognizant that failure to identify and prosecute institutions involved in certificate racketeering, their masterminds and students could harm Nigeria's social, political and economic development, encouraging patronage and posing a threat to country's development.
In underdevelopment, the House has mandated its Committee on the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, to investigate the basis and circumstance surrounding the ban imposed on the production of beverages in sachets and small bottles in Nigeria by the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC. The House has, in the meantime, called for the ban to be put on hold for being against the letter and spirit of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended. The motion, sponsored by Pascal Abudike expresses worry that given the numerous economic challenges confronting poor Nigerians, the ban on the production of the said beverages will wreak more havoc and cause job losses for over 50% of the workers in Nigeria. NAFDAC had announced its decision to stop the production of beverages in small sachets and bottles in January 2024 when the Director General of the agency informed the public that the agency will ensure that the validity of renewal of already registered products will not exceed January 2024.
The decision to place a ban on the production of beverages in small sachets and bottles will encourage unscrupulous elements to go about producing such drinks and products without recourse to NAFDAC. Aware that the ban on the registration of beverages in small sachets and bottles will cause more hardship on Nigerians whose livelihoods come from the production and sale of such beverages, and we in the long run plunge more Nigerians into unemployment and economic hardship.
Also, the House has urged the Federal Road Safety Commission and Nigerian Police to enforce the law on the use of sirens on Nigerian roads and clamp down on all those who are not entitled to use sirens for necessary sanctions to serve as deterrent. The motion on the need to check the abuse of the use of siren on Nigerian roads, as sponsored by Jesse Oke, argues that such improper use often disrupts the free flow of traffic with devastating effects on the economy due to the loss of man-hours at gridlocks, while the affected communities often suffer disruption to their businesses and exposure to attacks by hoodlums during long hours of gridlocks, as well as the noise pollution occasioned by the indiscriminate use of the siren. The House thereafter mandated its committees on Federal Road Safety Commission and Police Affairs to ensure compliance.
And the Rivers State chapter of the All Progressives Congress has warned the state governor, Siminalayi Fubara, against running the state without a duly approved budget by the State House of Assembly. The chairman of the caretaker committee of the party in the state, Tony Okocha, gave the call when he, alongside other members of the party, visited the Speaker of the House of Assembly, Martins Amewule, in Port Harcourt. Here's the report.
The caretaker committee chairman Tony Okocha alleged that within 5 months, the state government, under the leadership of Governor Fubara, received the sum of 144.2 billion from the Federal Account Allocation Committee. Okocha noted that the funds have not really been transmitted to actions in terms of development in the state, adding that despite the allocation received between June and November last year by Governor Fubara, the state is yet to see how such funds have been invested into developmental projects. He warned that the party will not hesitate to punish any of its members found to be involved in the ongoing squandering of the commonwealth of the people of the state.
We frown at the governor's impunity in running Rivers State without a budget. However, we remind him that it will amount to gross financial misconduct for him to continue in this dangerous voyage. The Right Honorable Speaker, it is our finding that a whooping sum of 144 billion, 291 million, 667,791 naira, 01 kobo have been received from federal allocation on that fact.
Okocha, however, expressed delight with how the defected legislatures have been carrying out their legislative and oversight functions. He used the occasion of the visits to urge the 27 lawmakers who defected to the APC to domesticate the local government autonomy bill, which was recently passed into law. The Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly, Martins Amewule, in his response thanked the APC leadership for the visit, saying it will strengthen members of the House. Amewule said the Assembly has recently passed many bills into law, including the local government autonomy bill. He explained that the lawmakers decided to override the executive over non-consent to some bills in order to strengthen democratic process in Rivers State.
As the legislative arm, you are to oversight the executive, and if you do nothing, you are equally complicit. 6, we are here to canvass support for the law recently made by the National Assembly on local government autonomy and the conduct we have and the conduct of local government elections to be done by the INEC, not SEC.
So in the same manner, we're strengthening the local government system. We're also strengthening the state legislature. We're strengthening the traditional institutions. Any democratic aspect of our life that needs touch, rest assured that the 10th Assembly will do justice so that our democracy can be strengthened.
Okocha urged the assembly members to continue to support the president to enable him deliver on his renewed hope agenda.
And EFCC's Ilorin Zonal Command has arrested illegal miners seizing 12 truckloads of lithium in Kwara State. The suspects, apprehended in various locations including Patigi, Igbeti and Ogbomoso, face charges under Section 18 Sub B of the Miscellaneous Offences Act, Cap M 17, 1983, punishable by life imprisonment. Most are truck drivers, some allegedly linked to foreign nationals and local accomplices. The EFCC vows to intensify its anti-corruption efforts targeting illegal mining networks nationwide. Also, Anambra State Fire Service successfully averted fire disasters in Oka Gas Plant and Nnewi Timber Market. Firefighters battled for 6 hours to extinguish a fire outbreak at the Nnewi Timber Market, which originated from a gully heap of sawdust. Quick response prevented the fire from spreading throughout the market. Additionally, firefighters prevented an explosion at a gas plant by controlling a fire that started from a burning bush behind the plant. State Fire Chief Engineer Martin Agbili confirmed both incidents, emphasizing that no lives were lost despite causing panic in the affected areas. While attributing the Oka fire to bush burning, the cause of the Nnewi Inferno remains under investigation. Also, Michael Okpara University, Umudike, Abia State, has suspended indefinitely its ongoing academic activities following the protest by students against the increment of school fees in the early hours of Tuesday. A statement by the Vice Chancellor of the school, Professor Maduebisi Iwe, said the academic activities of the institution have been suspended indefinitely after the violent protest. The school management advised all the students to vacate the university premises immediately or no later than 5 p.m. on Tuesday, February 6, 2024. According to reports, some miscreants were said to have hijacked the protest, thereby destroying some of the school's properties, including carrying out an attack on the VC's official vehicle and other officials. And the Federal Capital Territory FCT Minister Nyesom Wike has underscored the significance of rural welfare as an integral component of good governance within a nation. Wike said this during the flag-off ceremony for the construction of an 11-kilometer road from Yangoji to Sukuku in the Ebo Kwali Area Council. Habibat Ajayi brings details.
The construction of rural roads by the Federal Capital Territory Administration is aimed at enhancing connectivity within the FCT and improve the overall quality of life of residents in the affected areas.
The work consists of construction of 11-kilometer asphalt concrete finish road and 8-meter carriage road, which also includes the following: site clearance and networks, reinforced concrete pipe covers of tail service, reinforced concrete subsorbia and U-shaping line base, 150mm thick crushed stone base course, 150mm asphalt clearing course.
The chairman of Kwali Area Council expressed gratitude to the minister for the project and called for swift completion of the previously abandoned projects.
We will call your attention to the yesterday abandoned township stadium project. The This project was abandoned. This project was initiated by the immediate past leadership of the FCT administration, but it has been abandoned, thereby causing constraints to our people.
In his remarks, Minister Wike assured rural dwellers that the era of abandoned roads is over, reaffirming the government's commitment to addressing infrastructural needs in rural communities.
Be sure that things will bounce back. So what we have started doing is what I really things will bounce back. So just be patient. Support what we are doing. And the end of the day, our people are not even I can't support what will not work. Do you understand? I can't support what will not work. So for you to see me supporting this, you know that it will work at the end of the day. The period of abandonment of project is over. No project will be abandoned under this administration of Oswald Bola Tinubu.
Wike also emphasized the importance of collaboration between rural residents and the government authorities for the proper development of the FCT. Habibat Ajayi, Trust TV News, Abuja.
FCT Minister Nyesom Wike there at the commissioning. Still on infrastructural development, the roundabout at the heart of Makurdi, the Benue State capital, has been demolished as part of a reconstruction project leading to the disruption of traffic across major streets. And while the residents appreciate government's drive to develop the dilapidated infrastructure in the state, many say it has come at a price as business activities are gradually coming to a halt. Jimmy Adzande reports.
This junction has been reduced to rubble and the site cleared for the construction of the first flyover in Benue State since its creation 48 years ago. Before this day, the roundabout was home to many businesses. The business owners are now lamenting what they describe as a bittersweet policy of the state government.
I'm very happy about what the government is doing. We are really happy about it. The only challenge we are having right now is that our business is not moving. The road is blocked. We are not selling. There is no patronage. The vehicle is not moving. So we are pleading to the government if they will assist us.
Nobody noticed anything. And I welcome the idea of the government. So, for how many years ago, I've never experienced this kind of meeting. I welcome the development. But my pleading is that they should consider us. They have anything to compensate us. Because, like myself, I'm a family man with many children. So my primary school, my secondary school, so my university.
They say for the past few days, life has not remained the same because of the displacement without prior notice.
It affects us very well, but the government are trying to do something like so we can't stop the government from doing something like though it affects us and it's a pain to our neck and the business are no longer moving like the way it used to. So because the position where people knew us before, they're here now, nobody can locate us here again, so the market is so bad.
The business my shop go the other side, that I never ran about. They say I should remove it. They are doing work. But I'm so happy because it's for good of everybody in my radio state. So I'm so happy. But the thing affects us seriously.
With the current economic climate, some of the business owners are urging the state government to compensate them. The development is welcomed. However, I was displaced from my selling spot without notice. My worry now is how to fend for my family. It is a very disturbing situation for me. The news of the flyover construction may have been a major score for Governor Hyacinth Alia, but the families feeding from shops around the area are already facing hardship occasioned by shift in their respective businesses. Jimmy Azande, Trust TV News, Makurdi.
The House of Representatives has resolved to conduct an investigative hearing into the alleged non-compliance by banks and financial institutions with the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) directives on net open position limits. The resolution of the House followed the adoption of a motion of urgent national importance on the need for banks to implement CBN's policies on holding excess long foreign exchange and net open position limits, moved at the plenary on Wednesday by Babajimi Benson. Here's the report.
In the motion, Benson explained that CBN is saddled with the responsibility of regulating the monetary policies of the country as provided by the CBN Act.
The House is further concerned that the commercial banks and certain financial institutions in Nigeria usually hold back a large part of foreign exchange that they obtain either through purchase, borrowing, or allocation from the CBN, rather than lending same to their customers with a view to selling it when the exchange rate is high. The House is worried that this speculative activity by commercial banks and certain financial institutions has further exacerbated the harsh economic situation in the country and has led to difficulty by legitimate businesses to obtain foreign exchange for their business transactions.
In another development, the House of Representatives has mandated the Committees on Education to interact with the National Examination Council on her planned 2024 promotion examination for about 1,500 staff in the face of the security and economic situation of the country. This followed the adoption of a motion on matter of urgent public importance moved by Akim Adeyemi. While moving the motion, Adeyemi said the House is aware that in the past, the examination body had conducted similar promotion examinations for her staff at various zonal and regional offices without necessarily making large number of staff from different states of the Federation travel and converge at one place for the promotion exercise.
We are concerned that due to the security situation in the country and the economic issue biting out of the citizen, including the staff of National Examination Council, NECO, it is perilous to cost about 1,500 staff to travel from different parts of the country to one place in the name of promotional examination, Mr. Speaker. Believe that the examination body, which conducts examination for candidates all over the country, has the capacity to conduct promotion examination for our staff at different states of the Federation. The House do resolve that we mandate the committees on education, examination board and basic education to interact with the National Examination Council, NECO, on our plan 2024 promotion examination for about 1,500 staff at place vis-a-vis the security and economic situation of the country.
Also at plenary, the House summoned the Minister of FCT, Nyesom Wike, National Security Advisor, and heads of all security agencies over rising insecurity in the Federal Capital Territory. This followed the adoption of a motion by Representative Dominic Okafo.
You're watching the News Hour on Trust TV. Let's now join Yusuf Akogu, who's standing by with business news.
Welcome to Business News. I am Yusuf Akogu. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edu, on Tuesday said the tax to gross domestic product GDP level in Nigeria is 10%. According to Edu, when that of states are included, it rises to 13%, making it one of the lowest in the world. The minister disclosed this during the bilateral ministerial meeting with the German Minister of Economic Development and Cooperation and the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment in Abuja. He said government needs these taxes to carry out its responsibility. The minister noted that the tax to GDP ratio in other African countries is close to 25%, stressing that in a developed world, it is over 50% by way of collection, which facilitates investment in social infrastructure and social services. The federal government is now implementing measures to reduce the cost of LPG, popularly called cooking gas. The Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Gas, Ekperikpo, disclosed this at a stakeholders consultative meeting in Abuja. Ekperikpo said the federal government has decided to focus on 3 priority areas to ensure sustainable development in the country's gas sector. Part of this, according to the minister, include the implementation of measures that will cut down cooking gas price significantly. The meeting has in attendance the international and indigenous companies, major and independent oil marketers, LPG dealers, regulators, among other key players. The Nigeria Customs Service Federal Operation Unit Zone A Ikeja has disclosed that it intercepted 11 imported used vehicles and other contraband worth 854 million naira in January. The Custom Area Controller in charge of the command, Hussein Ejigbono, disclosed this in a statement on Tuesday. He said that during the period under review, the command recorded a total of 60 seizures comprising different contrabands. According to Ejigbono, other items seized were 1,220 cartons of foreign tomato paste, 983 pieces of used tires, 104 units of motorcycles, and 556 cartons of slippers. Rising cost of living has prompted the federal government to hold emergency meetings to address concerns of many Nigerians. Let's see how food prices look like today. We begin with grains. Indeed, rice at my 12 market in Lagos is going for 68,000 naira, a very huge amount. There you will say beans are down in Kano is being sold for 35,000 naira. Gari at a modern market in Asaba going for 22,000 naira. Maize at Adua market in Katsina State, northwest Nigeria is going for 40,000 naira. Groundnut there at Ungwarimi market in Kaduna State is about 10,250 naira. Of course, soya beans there in Kara market in Kano is going for 9,000 naira. And of course, Dangote salt is going for 10,300 naira at my 12 market down there in Lagos. Moving on now, we look at the tomato. Prices of tomato, a big basket at my 12 market in Lagos is about 49,000 naira. Pepper at Tarodo at Marana market in Sokoto State is going for 9,500 naira. Palm oil at Ogbete market in Enugu State is being sold for 26,000 naira. Of course, groundnut there at Utako market down here in Abuja is about 43,500 naira. Of course, honey down there at Ogonogo. Ogonogo is in Delta State. That is Asaba, 30,000 naira there. And of course, sugar in Dankaba market in Kano State, a bag of sugar 50 kg is going for 60,000 naira. Of course, yam tuber at Zakibiam in Benue State, food basket of the nation is going for 13,200 naira. Moving on now from food commodities market, now we move quickly to the stock market. The equities market on Wednesday rebounded from its 2-day losses due to improved investors by interest in some penny stocks. We look at how it went down. Maya, they're doing a 10%, recording a huge gain there. You say Triple Leg also gained 9.84%. Now, of course, Julie also gained 9.09%. Indeed, these are some of the penny stocks you will say on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, and this has moved the market it helped the market indeed to close flat. Not so much activities on the floor like we have today. In terms of volume of trade, just 330.304 million volume of shares. Exchange hands in the value at 6.243 billion naira in a mega deal. I mean, the lowest deal we've had in recent times, 9,474 deals exchange hands among investors today. We look at the top trading equities. We have the like of Transcorp Nigerian PLC doing 39.900 million shares. FBN, First Bank of Nigeria, holding 33.609 million shares. And of course, Jitco, Guarantee Trust Bank holding company there, doing 26.016 million shares as well. Some of the losing equities like we have today, we have the like of Cadbury Nigerian PLC, which is down by 9.50%. Guineans also down there, 8.93%. And of course, Wema Bank down 6.37% to close at 9.40 naira per share. These are the highlights of the stock trading as it went down on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange this Wednesday. Let's see the stock market in Africa and the rest of the world. Finally, in business, oil prices rose on Wednesday after U.S. crude inventories grew less than expected and a cut in the forecast for output growth in the United States. The world's biggest producer is concerned about potential oversupply. At the London market, the Brent crude sold for $79 per barrel. For the oil basket, price moved up to $78 per barrel. And that's business. I am Yusuf Akogu.
Away from Nigeria, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Wednesday rejected Hamas's truce demands and vowed to press ahead with Israel's military offensive towards the southernmost city of Rafah, where tens of thousands of displaced Palestinians are gathered. Netanyahu, in an evening news conference, said Israel is on the way to an absolute victory, adding that the operation would last months, not years. Hamas is demanding the full withdrawal of Israeli troops from Gaza in a counteroffer to a U.S. and Israel-backed ceasefire proposal. Hamas has laid out a series of demands, including exchanging hostages for Palestinian prisoners and rebuilding Gaza in response to an Israeli-backed ceasefire proposal. The armed group wants a full withdrawal of Israeli forces and an end to the war after 3 45-day truce periods. The question is whether a middle ground can be reached to move the process on. Also, 2 bomb explosions have killed at least 22 people in Pakistan's Balochistan province on the eve of general elections. The first blast killed 14 people in front of an independent candidate's party office in Pinchin district. A second explosion left 8 people dead in Kila Saifullah district, about 150 kilometers away. Many others were injured in the 2 blasts. No group has yet claimed responsibility for the attack in Pinchin, a town about 50 kilometers from the city of Quetta and 100 kilometers southeast of the Afghan border. The provincial authorities said 25 people were also wounded. Images on social media show cars and motorbikes blown apart by the force of the explosion, which took place outside the election office of a local independent candidate who officials said was meeting his polling agent at the time. And in sports, the Super Eagles of Nigeria have advanced into the final of the Africa Cup of Nations 2023 following a 4-2 win over South Africa on penalties. Emmanuel Fashimi tells us more.
The Super Eagles have made it to the finals of the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations in Cote d'Ivoire after beating Bafana Bafana of South Africa 4-2 on penalties. William Strauss-Ekong gave Nigeria the lead in the 7 minutes from the spot before Tebu Mokoena leveled things on the stroke of time after substitute Al Hassan Yusuf committed a foul in the 18-yard box. Nigeria will play the winner between host Ivory Coast and DR Congo, who are currently playing. The finals is bid for 11 February 2024. And that is sports. I am Emmanuel Fashimi.
And that wraps up the news hour on Trust TV. Do well to follow us across all of our social platforms and also join our live stream on YouTube for more news programs and documentaries. I'm Sagir Ibrahim saying thank you to the Super Eagles for soaring Nigeria's flag high.